Hey guys, Big J here from the Centre Bounce. In today's video, we're looking at how my team went in round 9 and the players that I'm going to bring in. Round 9 done and dusted. It almost feels like half the season's finished. I think it might be a trades to Supercoach to season type thing. Yes, a lot of us are getting closer to finishing our teams, but a lot of us still have a lot of players left on field and are making some crucial issues. This week, the forward line let me down. Hopefully, you guys saw the thumbnail and you can talk, see who I'm talking about a little bit there. But let's check out the team. I can go over kind of the things that I had some issues with, the players I'm going to bring in, and the guys, I would have liked to see play this week. This week, we scored 23.91. And normally that's been an okay score, but as you can see there from the season rank change, we actually went down. And it's the first time we've gone down all year. It is a bit tricky. There were a couple of players I shouldn't have had on field, or maybe should have had on field for other players. And yeah, GWS letting me down. I don't think many of their players scored well. Had one player over 100, and then Whitfield scored 100, and then that was it. I don't know what's up with these guys. They were doing so well earlier on in the season, and they've just fallen apart a little bit. Cash gen in the team's going up, which is beautiful. Let's see who we're going to change around this week. So starting from the back line. Now, we were kind of saved a little bit this week with some players who did some remarkable things in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game, and then some guys who got monster scaling. Here's looking at you, Big Max Gorn. I know Joe's not going to be very happy about him, but Max Gorn, massive scaling. I think he was on 100. He was on 60 or 70 with about 5 minutes left to go in the game. Kicked a goal, almost brought Melbourne back into it. Melbourne probably should have won, but they didn't. Max Gorn got 30-odd points from that, and then 11 points scaling. So I was very, very happy. Starting from the back line, Luke Ryan, fantastic player. Was on fairly low score as well and ended up pulling out a 111. I'm pretty sure people are saying he had a 47-point last quarter. It felt like more. It felt like 60 plus. Now, last week we got the 197. I was fantastic. I was happy. Some people jumped on. Congratulations. A lot of people didn't know. And we're hoping so much that they could have got Luke Ryan in for very, very cheap, and it was going to happen. I think he just ticked over his break even, so he went up a little bit in money, became harder for people to get in. 111 will do that to you. Nick Dacos back to amazing best. I should have put him as vice captain or captain this week. I had the opportunity to. Kept Bonts 135, but yeah, in a week where a lot of my players were scoring over 135, I thought, mate, I'm going to be up against your Sarongs, up against your Zach Butter VCs, and 135 is great, but 135 might not be enough this week, and obviously it wasn't. Nick Martin, 83. Now, Joe and I saw Nick Hind come into the team on the team sheets on Thursday. My heart just dropped a little bit. I don't know what's happened with that. I think Dersman's out has caused Nick Martin potentially to move to a bit of wing, but his disposal efficiency on the weekend was dog shit. Let's quickly check out how the team went. No, not Fast and the Furious. Let's check out the match center from this week. I don't think his scoring was that good. Zach Merritt, Nick Martin. So he only went at 61% efficiency. The time on ground was great. Probably only took one break, but that 61% efficiency will murder him. And 5 clangers doesn't help that good either. So if he'd got his DT score, we'd be very, very happy. I think he's the highest scorer in DT. But efficiency is what Supercoach cares about. We don't care. I mean, we do care. We care if you kick it to the opposition. If you kick the ball out, if you don't kick it and it's not marked, Supercoach cares. And obviously, his scoring was not great. Sheasel. Now, Sheasel is one who we can talk a little bit about. I think his scoring in the game wasn't atrocious. I don't think it was a disposal efficiency problem. Congratulations for those who have Zach Fisher, by the way. But let's check him out. Yeah, 2 clangers, wasn't great, but I think he was playing a little bit more forward and other positions forward and then a bit of mid. He seems to have lost his halfback position. It's not great. And for us in Supercoach who've kept him, cool, I had him all season. I didn't bring him in, bring him out, bring him back in again or anything of that nonsense. So we're saved a little bit there. But in terms of actually scoring in Supercoach, it really hurts. Really, really hurts. And come his buy round, if I've got a spare trade, it might be someone to offload. Maybe it's at a cheaper price. I'm hoping he can bounce back a bit. It won't be in a forward/midfield role. Might be in a backline type position. So we'll wait and see for that. But I've got other priorities to fill, other positions to change on field. It is not Sheasel at the moment for me. Might be for you guys. If you've got a spare boost this week, a Sheasel sideways while he's still expensive might be the play. Him to Petrarca looks very, very juicy, especially if you've got a midfield defender in your midfield, like a Nick Martin or someone else who you can swing to the back line. Whitfield, I'm happy with the 100, but he's now cheaper than what we brought him in. And if we check out his break even, cool, 139. So he's probably going to drop to under 500k. Doesn't look good. Whitfield's a bit of a bummer. He didn't get tagged as much, which was great. 100's not great, though. And as I said, GWS really sucked this game. So it's kind of excusable, but not really. Alex Sexton. So very, very happy that he came back. I held him. I know a lot of people jumped off him. Cool, 189k. Let's jump off whatever. He did have that negative break even, similar to a Sam Berry back, round 4 when he eventually came back in. Sexton, very, very happy. No dramas there. Looks to be jumping up a little bit in cash. Will Powell is out for the next 5 weeks. Gold Coast definitely won. Sexton did all right. I think he plays for a bit longer and could end up getting to about 300k. And that's what we want. Blake Howes, 54, made his money. He's done well for us. I know a lot of people jumped off at about 200k. Another 90k, but he's one who I'm trading this week. Caleb Sarong, very, very happy we brought him in last week. I think he's now the highest ranked Supercoach player. So highest average out of everyone. He's had 2 monster scores the last 2 weeks in a row. Thanks, mate. Nice to see Bontempelli coming back. He was playing Richmond, so you'd hope that he did well, but it is what it is, right? That's what you get the Bont. No Libba, no Sanders, who might come in this week. There's no one else getting the ball. Even McRae did shit. So Bontempelli, get in my team. Zach Butters, nice to see the 147. Was a little bit worried about form slump with Zach Butters. It's a weird one because when he's made to be, when he's made to be playing accountable, it does feel like he doesn't tackle and do a few of these other things as much, which leads to some lower scoring. But 147 is pretty good. Tuke Miller, 122. Very, very happy with that. We had Matt Rowell on our books for so long. Went Tuke Miller instead. Got some cash in the bank as a result. And then he's had a couple of better scores than Matt Rowell. I'm not sure what's happened to Matt Rowell, but he has definitely fallen off the last couple of weeks. You'd want more than an 89 against North Melbourne. And the guy was on 50 points for up until the 4th quarter at least. So he's very lucky that he got the score that he did. Sam Walsh, 119. Not too bad. I think he got killed by the scaling hammer. It would have been much nicer, though, to have Dawson instead of him. And I think for the last 2 or 3 weeks, Dawson has scored more. So we had the chance. The problem with Sam Walsh is you look at Butters, gone up in price. Sarong, gone up in price. Bontempelli, even Tuke Miller. Sam Walsh is basically the same price as we brought him in after 4 weeks. So even when his break even was a 30, his cash has stayed the same. It kind of resembles his level of scoring. And if we look at someone like a Jordan Dawson, was 550k? And he's now a lot more expensive and has a much better break even. So, yeah, not great. If you have him, fantastic. Jack Steele, nice to see him back up in form. Similar to Tom Green, nice to see him back as well. And we were lucky. One of the good things we had this week was Darcy Wilson scoring a 90. And this kid, I'm sorry if you got rid of him at 220k. I know a few people did. This kid's on 3 break even. A 3. It's going to project it to be scoring 87, which means, 40k? So he's going to be 420-ish K next week. I know we've seen similar things with Harley Reid, but cheapy player plus him now equals a primo, and that's what we want. Closey played this week, and this is where it kind of started to hurt a little bit. The 105 instead of a Cadman, I could have done some sneaky things and put Sexton and move some players around. Would have been great. Yes, we did screw up a little bit by bringing English back in, and I'll talk about English because I'm not happy. But we did some sneaky things, brought English in, avoided a donut, but a 12 on field is almost as bad as a donut. And I think I would rather just have the better player. And looking at the team right now, It's a 12. Like, I would have done better having Closey on field to here. Yeah, it's not good. Really, really not good. Graham didn't play, surprising. Hopefully he plays this week. Garcia. Now, a 65 is fantastic, and we love it. Checking out his break-even of a 1. So he is playing freer this week. I'm not expecting a huge score, but cash gen is always nice. And if he gets to 250k, we can offload him and then upgrade like a Darcy Wilson in a couple of weeks. Grabbing a forward primo, we're very, very happy. Max Gorn, as I said before, 111, very happy. Was on what? I'm going to say 70. 70 is not great. Kicked a goal. Charity goal, Max Gorn. I know Petrarca gets charity goals, but charity goal, Max Gorn. Very happy. Tim English is one who sucks. And I'll show you why. I think Champion Data has a thing with some players. And Tim English was just that player this week. Check out his stats. Yes, the Dogs had so many plays. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And going into this game, Richmond give up a lot of points against Rucks. A lot of points. And you'd think that Tim English would be in there. Tim English was not in there. Big J's not happy. Tim English, 87. So if I had said to you, close your eyes, right? Close your eyes. 6 kicks, 12 handballs, 7 marks, 3 tackles, 31 hit-outs, 2 free kicks and a behind. Good efficiency, ran at 83% efficiency, and 5 contested possession. 87. 87. I don't know if some of the hit-outs to advantage didn't calculate, or some tackles or something didn't calculate, but that is not an 87 score. That is atrocious. Nankervis scored more than him, and he went at 54%, and had less handballs, less kicks, less marks, same tackles. Come on, and he gave away a free kick. It's not great. Not great scoring there, but this is Supercoach. I don't make the rules. I don't make the scoring. Hopefully he can bounce back this week. Jordan Sweet obviously didn't play. Isaac Heaney, 118. Very, very happy there. Flanders, I would have liked a lot more against North Melbourne. He hasn't been playing that much of a damaging mid player anymore. Does feel like he's playing a bit more wing, or will be the player that stops the transition when the ball's in the opponent's like forward 50. So he'll get it on the back, similar to what Hogan's been doing a little bit in the transition, if that makes sense. Harley Reid, 59. Now, Harley Reid is going to cause a lot of headaches for some people, mainly because he's got a 134 break even. And that's something that I'm not going to be very happy about. He's not going to get close to that against Melbourne. He'll probably score a 40 or a 50 against Melbourne this week. And without Elliot Yeo, his scoring's just fallen off a bit. He's someone that I'm looking to trade over the next 1 or 2 weeks. He does have, I believe, let me just quickly check, around 14 bye. So I need to get rid of a few of these players around 14 bye. He might be the one that goes. Next week, Harley Reid could be on the chopping block for me. I can grab a Zorko. I can grab a Rankin. I'll grab someone else who doesn't have a round 14 bye, so I can start to offload some of these players. Now, round 14 is looking nasty for a lot of people, but right now, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 primos. If I can get, a read up to a player, get some other guys in, I should be okay. My buy rounds are actually looking pretty good. Sam Darcy, 113. Very, very good. Now, I don't think he affected English as much. Maybe he did. Darcy Jones. Now, this is the forward line that really came to hurt me, and which is why I would have loved a Sexton down here and a Closey up here. Hindsight's a pain in the ass. 38 wasn't great. I felt like he got burnt a little bit and was forced to play a little bit more accountable, which means that he had to chase after his own ball. Wasn't great, obviously, for Supercoach scoring. Did get a goal in the first quarter, which kind of cemented his bottom score, but he didn't score much after that. I think the goal put him at like 18 or 20 points, and for the rest of the game, he scored 18 points. Not great. Livingston obviously didn't play, Captain Livingston, and then Cadman. Now, Cadman was on 0 points for a very long time, and then he got 6 points. And then I think he gave away a free kick or kicked it to the opposition or something happened, and he ended up on 1 point for a very long time. So I have to be happy with the 12, but I'm not happy with the 12. And yeah, he's not in my team. The only good thing about Cadman, and it's why we got rid of Roberts last week. Potentially Roberts, should have stayed and we can get rid of Cadman. I think Roberts ended up going down in price more than Cadman did, just due to break evens. Cadman's break even was like 40. So cool, he's dropped, I think, 25K. Not the end of the world. So looking at my trades for this week, I'm going to try and get some more of these premium players in other positions, get rid of dud guys off the bench, and make the team look a bit better. So Cadman's out for me this week, and Howes is out for me. And it does give Big J a lot of money to play around with. It does give Big J a lot of money to play around with. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a closey to the back line. Hopefully he plays this week. Darcy Wilson to the forward line. So at least we have an okay forward line. It's not the best. I've got too many guys here that don't have DPP, and it really hurts. I've got to survive with Darcy Jones another week. It's not great, but that's Supercoach for you, unfortunately. Unless I can bring in a primo forward. But then, I think he's going to stay around. He's still got a decent enough break even. F6 is going to suck for a little while until we offload Sweet and then get Livingston back on and kind of ride that wave, at least until probably round 14, hopefully. It is what it is. This week, we are going to bring in Sullivan. Now, there is some talk that we might bring in Breville instead, but we'll just wait and see. I'm pretty sure Sullivan has a better break even. Let me quickly see. Bruce. Cool. Where is he? Bruce Revel. Now, if we check out the break even, Sullivan has... So Bruce has a 56, Sullivan has a 92. So there you go. That's probably another 30-odd K eventually in scoring that he should be able to score. There is some job security issues with Sullivan, but the Pies have got a lot of players injured, and I think he's going to stay. He looks good. He plays the part. He does well. I think he stays in the team. And then we're going to bring in a player who I was very, very happy that I can afford by about 7-odd K, and that is big Zach Merritt. Now, I was going to bring in Oliver. I was going to bring in Petrarca. But Zach Merritt's been there in my books. I've wanted him forever. He's playing North Melbourne. It's probably not Petrarca versus versus West Coast status. So West Coast, I'm going to get slaughtered by Petrarca and Oliver this week. Expect some good scores, but I think I like the Zach Merritt trade. And the beautiful thing about Zach Merritt is Joe and I. Now, this is a bit of a spoiler. We'll talk about this on the Monday stream. But Joe and I are going to watch the North Melbourne versus Essendon game this weekend. And Zach Merritt's obviously playing. If I go to that game and Zach Merritt is not in my team, I will flip my shit at every time that he touches the ball. It is going to suck. So I'll bite the bullet now. We'll be okay. It happens. This is the team looking at it so far. So obviously, I think Garcia plays. Sexton's going to play. Darcy Jones on field. I don't think Biggie Newen's going to play, but we can play the game and see what happens there. Projected of 2,476. So if we get close to that, I think we're very happy. Luke Ryan versus St Kilda is going to probably score at 200 because St Kilda like to give up points to halfbacks. So we'll see what happens there. And I think especially with Hayes being out, friend of the channel, Caminiti might come back in, but Luke Ryan should be scoring a lot of points. I think if I can quickly scroll down, have a bit of a look. So where does Freo and Thingy play? Here. Maybe this week will be a bit cheeky. It doesn't look like there's anyone obvious who's going to score well for us. Let's go Saturday night, Luke Ryan into Max Gawn captain. That's kind of what the team's looking like at the moment. Guys, let me know down in the comments who you're bringing in this week. Do you like my team? Do you not like my team? The beautiful thing about this year in Supercoach is that we have an abundance of captain. I think I've been a bit lucky in not picking up the duds as much. I mean, Garcia over Newen would basically mean that I've almost got an entire team of playing rookies. Even Zach Reed looks like he might be coming back at some point soon. So that's fantastic for us there. But yeah, we're very, very lucky. Garcia will be making us some money. Darcy Wilson's going to get the 400K. Sam Darcy's going to get there as well. That's basically one up, one down, one up, one down, one up, one down. And then we figure out this position to finish off our team. So it's really not that bad. Hopefully we can get a similar position with Closey and that. So, a couple of these players and then Livingston, bammo, we've got our finished team. So it's not terrible. I would love to have a player or two on the bench that I can do some swings with. But we'll see what happens there. Got a couple of weeks. Guys, that's my team for round 9. It's probably going to get a bit more of a play around with throughout the season. As I said, at the start or just before. We're very, very lucky that we've got a lot of good cash in this year and a lot of players going up in money. It means that we can potentially do a lot more one up, one downs, which means that players like myself, players like Joe, a few of you guys who watch the channel, who burnt your trades early, you're going to be able to finish your team and potentially have a decent enough, let's say M9, D7 type player. Heck, even a forward guy on the bench. We'll wait and see for what that happens there. Let me know down in the comments again. Hey, what did we guys do this week? What did you guys score? Did you beat me in the rankings or beat me in the leagues? Let me know what your trades are as well and the players that you guys are watching out for. The forward line for me this week is a bit sketch, and I'm worried that I'm missing out on a Rankin or Zorko, a few of these guys. Do I need to bring one of those in or go Zach Merritt? Let me know down in the comments. Remember, on Monday nights, 7:30 live stream should be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for that. Last week we had, I think, 165 odd people. It was bloody fantastic and good to see everyone there. Kind of your regulars, but a few more players who and super coaches who have just jumped on the channel. Maybe you saw us on Facebook or Twitter, following along our antics on George's Discord as well. Love having you guys on. Guys, here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so you guys don't have to. Bye for now.